So here's a video review of the knife set by Henckels. You can see it looks like a typical Henckels knife. It's got the plastic handle in this particular case, but it's got a forged, I believe this is called a bolster, and it's got the long piece of really good steel from Henckels. It's got a nice metallized end cap here, and you can see the little Henckels mark. One of the things to note is while most Henckels are made with German steel in Germany, this particular one, I don't think you can read it quite in the video, but this particular one is actually Chinese steel, made in China, supposedly using the Henckels formula. So the question is, does it cut and handle just like a Henckels knife? I like this knife in general from its shape and length. It's a really good size for carving. See how it's a little narrower than a chef's knife so that you can kind of maneuver around, particularly if you're getting around a turkey or something else. It also comes with this really nice fork, which is kind of nice and sturdy. And what's unique about it is that it's not only sturdy, it has wide tines or wide separations between the little teeth there. But it's also relatively stiff, so it'll hold things in place. That allows you to carve pretty carefully or pretty thinly, even on something like a big thing like a turkey. But I don't have a turkey to demonstrate today, so I'm going to test its sharpness and its ability to carve just by testing it on a potato and a pepper. And you can see right away the real test of any knife is how well does it cut. Before I start, let me tell you a little bit about the balance. Because this is a carving knife, unlike a chopper, which is a little top heavy or weighted a little bit more on the front of the blade, this is a slicing knife, so it's a little more weighted in the back, and I think its balance point is somewhere here back on the handle, which is kind of where you're grabbing the knife, because you really don't want to get your hands jammed into a moist turkey or a ham or something. So you want to be able to keep your hands back, although it does have the little bolster to keep your hands from sliding up onto the blade. So it's a pretty nice knife from a utility standpoint, but the question is, how well does it cut? Well, let's find out. So right off the bat, you can see this thing is absolutely razor sharp. The good measure of any knife is its ability to cut thinly and under control. And you see I have that in spades here. I don't usually go in for these devices that hold the thing you're slicing. Usually I figure you can hold it with your hand or use a fork. But this is actually pretty nice because it's so stiff and you're far away from it. It affords you the ability to control what you're slicing without getting near the thing you're slicing. So it's a little safer and you still have plenty of control. And this thing absolutely razor sharp. You can see because it's thin, the kind of sticky part, like potatoes, which are notoriously sticky notorious for sticking on the knife blade, doesn't stick too well. They just sort of slide off. So you can slice under control and with precision, which is exactly what you want out of a carver. So it's very sharp, and it comes out of the box sharp. So let's see on something like a pepper, how well does it control? Because you probably want to use this knife for more than just slicing turkeys or hams. You probably also want to use it in the kitchen. Let's see how it cuts a pepper. And the interesting thing about this pepper is because I've already got it opened up, it's going to be really sensitive to a dull knife because it'll just collapse. But you can see I can make really sharp or really thin slices of the pepper without damaging the pepper. So this thing is sharp. It definitely is worthy of the Henckels name in that it seems to be really good steel. It's really well made. You don't see any cracks or nicks or missing parts. Everything's solid. The seams are all tight. You've got a solid piece of steel and a good, nice feeling handle. Everything about this is comfortable and useful. This is a really good knife set, and I think for the price, it is a remarkably good value. I hope you find this review helpful.